La 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 la, no DMCA. La 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 la, no DMCA. La 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 la, no DMCA. No DMCA. La 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 la, no DMCA. La 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 la, no DMCA. La 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 la, no DMCA. No DMCA. No DMCA. La 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 la, no DMCA. La 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 la, no no la 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 la, no DMCA. No DMCA. No DMCA. In the Disney animated Pixar movie, Cars.
Hit the brakes, I be seeing lots of fakes. Down bitches, you do not have what it takes. Say shit though, I'm just trying to get laid. Bitches watch how I do it, say.
La 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 la, no DMCA. La 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 la, no DMCA. La 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 la, no DMCA. No DMCA. No, no, no. What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone's having a fantastic evening, afternoon, pre-noon. No matter where you are in the world, I'm Hasan Piker, and this is the HasanAbi broadcast coming to you live from sunny California, Los Angeles, folks. It's beautiful here. It's 62 degrees and sunny here in Los Angeles, California, and I hope all the boys, I hope all the girls, and I hope all of the NBs are having a fantastic one, because it is Monday, folks. Monday, January 3rd, 2022. And we're back with a new week of content. So much to cover in the news. So much going on. The dead period post-holiday season is finally coming to a close, folks. And of course, as always, you know, I have a litany of issues on my own. You know,
everyone is having a wonderful day. Less than 3.
Man United lost. Oh no, bruv. That's fucking devastating. Man United. Man U, bruv. They fucking lost, yeah. Devastating. Anyway. Folks. We're live and alive. And I'm late. It's 12:18 p.m. and I'm late. And the reason for why I am late is because, as I'm sure you've already experienced a broadcast buffer in the motherfucking intro. We got some streaming issues. What else is new? Ended the broadcast last night early as fuck. And the reason for why I ended it is because I was working on fixing. I was working on troubleshooting. Thank you, Cash Out, for the 69 gifted subs. Nice. I was working on troubleshooting. I was working on trying to figure out what the, identifying, isolating, trying to figure out what the problem is. At first, we thought it was a AMD GPU. It wasn't the GPU. Then we were like, maybe it's the CPU. Maybe it's the RAM not working with the fucking MOBO. Whatever. Okay. Because as you all know, there is a periodic every 10 minutes little baby frame drop that is occurring on the stream. Now that problem has not gone away. I updated all my drivers. I updated everything. We have decided that the problem is most likely a network related issue, but actually, as a matter of fact, not related to the ISP, which is surprising. Yeah, called my ISP. They were offering remarkably fast service, expedient, because it's a business. Oh, someone wants to get remodded. Who is that? C-Mac?
The winter break to end. Thankfully, Hasan is streaming in the interim.
C-Mac wants to get remodded? Is that what you're saying? Son of a gun.
1 month until the baby
Motherfucker. Anyway. As I was saying, though. As I was stating. Helpson, I was in a Discord comment group. I was hacked because of agroecology. Those Nazis are persecuting me. What the fuck are you saying? What do you want me to do, bro? Anyway. As I was saying, so it's not actually the ISP related. The network issue is not related to the ISP, but instead very likely related to just a computer either it's the Ethernet cord or it's potentially my router, not the modem from Spectrum, but the router. But even on the router, it shows no coverage, uninterrupted fucking access to the internet. Good upload speeds, good download speeds. The only place where we see the performance dip, and it's like very noticeable, is OBS, where obviously my stream buffers for a second, minor pause, or on my performance tab where I see like my network go pew, just major dip. So it might be the Mobo network adapter hardware. It might be the hardware not working well with one another. It might be the drivers that are fucking dog shit. I have done the packet loss test. Yes, I have. I did all of that this morning. I've been working with people that are that have more information than you do. Sometimes in certain instances, more information than I do. Obviously, the graphics card still crashes. Don't get me wrong. That's just a regular AMD software problem, but that's not the reason why we're seeing the Fs. The problem is we have a lot of issues. Okay, we have a lot of issues, and that's why it's like, which one is it? Is the main issue, because it's like you see fucking packet loss, or rather you see the bitrate drop on the OBS, but then you don't fucking see it on anywhere else. Like, where is it coming from? It's like trying to fucking identify and pinpoint a problem is really annoying. Ultimately, most of those problems are completely addressed with a classic turn it on and off every single thing, which is really fucking annoying because there's that minor F right there.
Love you, chat.
Let's not lose our minds over it. Just a little baby F, okay? It happens. Anyway, AMD GPU drivers are dog shit. Is why most people go with AMD CPU and NVIDIA GPU. Sorry for your troubles. But what you just experienced just now, was not because of the AMD GPU. Other streamers are also experiencing like baby Fs as well, from what I understand.
Shout out customer service. Hassle.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's just continue, okay? We got people on it. We got people working on it. I'm working on it. Why would you go for AMD? You're a millionaire. Just buy NVIDIA and Intel. Because I'm not the one who made my PC, brothers, sisters, NBs. I didn't make this PC. The man, the myth, the legend, Linus Tech Tips and his team made the PC, and the PC's fine. Okay.
Hassle.
Even though I will most likely be getting, if I can figure it out, an NVIDIA GPU. I want a 3090 fucking on crack. I want the most steroided out, cracked out fucking GPU, just so I can flex on the haters. You know what I mean? If your GPU is not soldered, just replace it. I don't think Linus would solder a GPU, dude. Anyway, your haircut looks clean as fuck. I'm not. I didn't have a haircut. I literally just washed my hair this morning, and I put some fucking product in it, a little bit of product in it, and I basically just pulled it back. It's not. I'm just waiting for it to dry. I didn't actually get a haircut. Anyway, but that's it for my fucking personal news. There's really not much going on other than that. The only thing I did last night was I watched Jamil Maz, a comedian that I watched growing up, who is like really important to me personally. He has a Netflix comedy special. Obviously, I don't recommend it if you're not American. I mean, if you're not Turkish, sorry. You won't get it. But that's pretty much it. That's the only like cool, fun thing that has happened on this holy day. But a lot is popping off around the world, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get to it. let's get fucking right to it. We're going to talk about Omicron today. We're going to talk about CDC today. We're going to talk about a bunch of different things today. 16 and then later in the broadcast, I hope, if everything doesn't fall apart like it did yesterday, we'll be able to hopefully, fingers crossed, inshallah, we'll be able to watch a little bit of MasterChef. That's right, folks. Anyway, what the fuck is this? C-Mac unbanned, trying to get banned again. What is this? This is what I should be using as a meme? Dude, I hate to be that guy, and I know, like, I mean, he seems like a nice dude, and Will and I have played basketball with him, but Andrew Garfield kind of sucks. Like, I think that the new fucking Spider-Man is like better. I think his Spider-Man was not that great. I don't know.
Here's to many more months in this wonderful community.
He seems like a very nice dude, don't get me wrong, but I'm just not like I'm not a big fan of his Spider-Man. I think that Tom Holland is the better Spider-Man. But like, clearly he has his own. Hey, Themasius with a fucking fat playlist. Thank you, Themasius. The #1 chatter in our hearts. Okay. Even though according to this community, the #1 chatter is Ninjite of 2021. Okay.
Getting close to the brain rot.
Today's big story is going to still be about COVID. But, you know, some good news. The Oi Profs have come out with some studies with respect to COVID. And those Oi Prof studies, bruv, show 50% less hospitalizations for Omicron, bruv. So, you know, that's a sign for less concern than usual. Anyway, let's blast off. Daycare is open, folks. I am live and covering the news. Is Omicron mid? Is the CDC going back on its decision? Why are libs obsessed with Jan 6 and more possibly minor F stream? Get in now. www.tshorttv.HasanAbi. That's right. That's fucking right, bro. What are your opinions on the DSA? I want to get more politically active and I'm thinking of joining. Definitely do it. It's great. It's a very smart idea. They're great. They're wonderful people. Thank you for the Boo Boo Bennett tweet, by the way, my friend. Stout Keg. Thank you for the Boo Boo Bennett tweet because I am posting it right now. There it is. Do you have caca? No, but do you know who has the caca? La caca? Do you guys know? Days pass. Seasons go by. The sun comes up every morning and it sets every night. And some things never change. One of those unchanging realities is that Jair Bolsonaro, the leader of Brazil, the country of Brazil, what is it, like the 14th largest economy on the planet? Bolsonaro is once again in the hospital. That's right, folks. Jair Bolsonaro is once again in the hospital with La Caca. if there was ever an indication that there is a being out there that is like beyond our comprehension, beyond the realm that we are aware of, if there's like a Allah, God, Yahweh, whatever, that motherfucker does not like this dude, okay? Like, if you believe in God and you're Jair Bolsonaro, you got to be like, okay, I don't know what is happening right now, but like, whoever is up there, the big guy, does not like me. This motherfucker has been hospitalized throughout his reign, okay? Approximately like 11 times. Multiple times for COVID. And then also because he had an intestinal blockage that caused him to hiccup uncontrollably.
Hell yeah.
A process in which they literally shoved the tube from his nose all the way down to his intestines that pumped la caca out of his nose, like pounds and pounds of shit. I feel like every day Bolsonaro's life is in jeopardy simply by virtue of existing.
Hi, Hasan.
And then he dies for a brief moment. And then he goes down to the gates of hell. And then, you know, the devil's like, nah, man. No, Bolsonaro, you got some time up there. That's what he says. That's the devil has also a Brazilian accent that sounds suspiciously like a cholo. Because the devil is me. I am the devil. I can't do the Brazilian accent. I try and I fail every time. It's just always Chicano. I don't know why. Bolsonaro. Me whoa, Bolsonaro. You gotta. No, I can't do it. Okay. Fuck. I need to get better. Next time he's in the hospital, by that point, I will have a better Brazilian / Portuguese accent, okay? Do you understand? By the time Bolsonaro goes in the hospital again, because you know that shit's gonna happen, okay? Let's be real. By that point, I will have had a better accent. Yeah, minor F. It's fine. You can get the accent down in like 5 days? Crazy? Yeah. Comecei a passar malaposo al mocho de domingo. Cheque ao hospital as de hoye.
Happy.
Mecolacram, sonda nasogástrica, mais exame será feitos para possível cirurgia. What the I can't even say it. Gringo moment? That's a certified gringo moment. You're gonna end up in the hospital if you don't let me be your nutritionist? No. He's more nasal. Okay, whatever. Just stop. Fuck is this?
LSF. I really fucking love LSF. Like, look, I never would have seen that T-Pain clip if it wasn't for LSF, for example, the one that we just watched. There were so many great clips on there. But when people are trying to have real conversations, let them build their thoughts. Because pretty much everybody but Hasan, if you give him enough time, he's going to have a really well thought out idea.
I just can't believe that you did that. And I'm uncomfortable being around you.
I love.
Who's this person?
Seven Moths Pog.
I think Seer and I should make a pact to never shave. You know, it's just like, it's not work. It doesn't work. They pump food into his body, not la caca out of it. Oh, damn. Okay. Regardless, as we were speaking, so Jair Bolsonaro is once again at the hospital. Okay. Once again, dude. Once a fucking again, baby. So, you know, do with that information what you will. I know that like a lot of Brazilians who fucking despise Bolsonaro, who make up like 100% of my audience, Brazilians who despise Bolsonaro are like the only Brazilians in here. I don't think I've ever had like, unless you're literally Bolsonaro's dipshit son, one of his many fascist sons, wannabe Uday and Kusei Andes, you know. They used to celebrate when Bolsonaro would go to the hospital. They were like, yeah, put the crabs out. I can't even toss the crab memes out when Bolsonaro goes to the hospital now because he goes to the hospital weekly. Kind of mad you don't do Latino accents more often. Stop giving the bruvs all the attention. Yeah, that's true. I should be doing more Latinx accents. All right, 2022, folks, we're going to be doing more Latinx accents, okay? The problem with the Latino accents is that, like, there is, you know, Americans will 100% be like, that's racist. That person is being racist. Especially because if I'm not good, I've talked about this before. If you're doing an accent about like a marginalized group of individuals, okay, you have to be good at it. If you're not good at it, then it's racist. You can't just be bad at it. Then you're Steven Crowder. You know what I mean? Video of the average LSF commentator in public. Oh, the Caucasian is a slur. Yeah, we already watched this yesterday. I don't know what the fuck this was about, but yeah, we're not going to rewatch it. Anyway, getting to the point with the accents where it's racist if you decide not to do one because of how dare you leave anyone out. No, well, like I've said before, it's less about, I know all the fucking Hispanic people, all the South American people in here don't give a shit, okay? Everyone in here, dude, from my personal experience, while it's still anecdotal, my personal experience, there's not one group of people that loves having people, rip their culture or try to fucking do their accents than Chicano people, okay? They just, at least in my friend group, it's like they're very Turkish like that. Turkish people also love that shit. They think it's fucking dope. They're like, oh yeah, Abi, dude, they know about us. And they're trying to do the thing. They're trying to do us. Right? They're trying to do our accents or whatever. Yeah, like we love Speedy Gonzalez. That's that sort of shit. But then there's also white people, okay? And I know nobody asked, but you always got to ask white people. And while you might personally think is acceptable or appropriate, white people will not.
Europe is blue.
So, Ben Shapiro's saying that CNN has discovered the Joe Rogan show. Wait, what? Dude, I love the COVID misinformation. We're going to dive straight into it, okay? Cuz like I saw a post by Tim Pool again. And he is just like doubling, tripling, quadrupling down. Okay. And saying like more idiotic shit about COVID. I feel like these guys have gone buck wild on the COVID stuff. Everybody's talking about mass psychosis. I feel like the staying power that Joseph Robinette Rogan has with respect to like changing the dynamic and changing people's attitudes, or rather starting a conversation, is still OP. He's still goated as fuck no matter what. Like his influence may be waning, but whenever he has like a weirdo whenever he has a weirdo host or weirdo guest on, okay,
gets fixed somehow.
Every fucking toe on the planet, every thumb on the planet, every cop, every fucking weirdo gets activated. There's like a fucking alarm bell that rings in their houses, and they're like, oh, what's the latest on Joe Rogan? Okay, time to download all that misinformation and then spread it out into the public. So that's the reason why motherfuckers are now doing, the mass psychosis theory, and that's what's happening with COVID. Meanwhile, they themselves are the reason why there is if anything, they are the ones who are doing mass psychosis. Okay.
Sup.
So, whenever there's a gringo making a vid about Brazil, it instigates 1 million views. Vem pro Brasil. Yeah. If Rogan runs in 2024 as a libertarian fascist weed bro who found God, he takes 350 electoral. Yes. Joe Rogan Joe Rogan, if he ran for president on the conservative ticket, would make the map look like a fucking... He would literally make the map look like the COVID map right now. Have you guys seen that, by the way?
Holy crap, the
COVID new cases map in America is all red. Viral transmission is all red everywhere, like the entire country. Because Omicron is fucking ripperoning through the goddamn country, okay? Now, there is some cause for, I mean, there's obviously cause for concern, because even if Omicron is like 50% less deadly or leads to 50% less hospitalizations, it's still, you know, triply as fucking viral. So, you know, motherfuckers are still getting clapped, even if it's less deadly. Why are they still getting clapped, even if it's less deadly? Because motherfuckers don't have the vaccine. Okay? It's obviously not going to stop you from getting COVID, but it's certainly going to stop you from going to the hospital, especially if you're boosted. 81% less likely to go to the hospital if you're boosted with COVID. So what the overall consensus right now in the United States, according to doctors, you know, ER room, people that work in emergency, ER room, people that work in ERs, is that if you're here with COVID, either you are immunocompromised already, or, and it's like impossible for you to fucking avoid it, and you got it and you're immunocompromised, so you're here, or in the more common case, the infinitely more common case, unvaccinated. That's it. Okay? If you're relatively healthy, if you are vaxxed up, double vaxxed, especially if you're boosted, you get COVID, you take it on a fucking chin, bruv. Doesn't mean that it's still, you know, something you should seek after, obviously. Okay? But still not great. Okay? Still not great, but if you're boosted the fuck up, you're, you know, pretty much GG's. Okay? The reason why I mentioned this is because it's going to be important to the lead up to the CDC decision that we're going to discuss in a second. Minor F, baby F, Wheezy F baby.
Yeah.
All right, we're back.
No brain rot.
Small F.
Yet.
It's going to happen. These Fs are going to keep happening. Okay? It's just part of the stream now. Just learn to love the F.
The fight against COVID, the U.S. averaging a record-shattering more than 400,000 cases per day now. This as millions of kids are heading back to school this morning. Our Trevor Ault is live at a school here in New York with the latest for us. Trevor, good morning.
Good morning, TJ. This is truly a unprecedented start to the year here with a record-shattering number of new infections, and that is impacting.
3 people are getting COVID every second. 3 new people are getting COVID every second right now. This shit is impossible to avoid, okay? The only certainties in life are no longer just death and taxes. It's also getting the Omicron variant of COVID, okay? Now, I'm not saying this to freak you the fuck out, because a lot of people are freaking the fuck out. How do you address people claiming that the CDC is suppressing data and scientists? What? There is no evidence for that whatsoever, okay? I don't know what the fuck to say to some weird shit like that. I don't think the CDC is suppressing evidence and scientists. Anyway, let's keep going.
Impacting hospitals, it's impacting businesses, and it especially is going to be impacting schools. The education secretary says schools around the country who are hoping to return to the classroom could very easily have 5-10% of their staff out sick with COVID to now start this new year.
This morning, the new year is off to an unprecedented start with record-breaking levels of COVID infections across the country. Cases skyrocketing more than 200% in the past 2 weeks. On average, now more than 400,000 reported a day, more than ever before.
We are definitely in the middle of a very severe surge and uptick in cases.
The Omicron variant triggering explosive outbreaks in areas like Puerto Rico. New infections there increasing 4,490%. And hospitalizations, while lagging, are on the rise. Patient numbers in New York mirroring the levels of this time last year.
Are you concerned that the CDC is lowering the quarantine period to appease anti-vaxxers? I don't think they're doing that to appease anti-vaxxers. I think they're doing that to appease big business, as I've stated before. And I do believe that is going on. one of the insanely unacceptable things that the CDC did, other than, you know, straight up reducing the quarantine period from 10 days to 5 without any new additional data available, without even making their data available as to how they arrived at that decision, and then openly admitting that they did it so that society does not collapse and that, you know, businesses will continue to function, was the way that they said it, which was, if you get COVID for 5 days, after 5 days, you can go back to fucking work with no extra qualifiers. Like there wasn't a specific thing where you had to get 2 negative PCR tests. You know what I mean? Now the CDC is going back on that and potentially adding that 2 negative test results before you're able to go back into public after 5 days. I guess restriction, right? But the issue is, it's too fucking late. Okay, you already came out of the gate swinging, and you said 5 days instead of 10, and you didn't even fucking require negative testing. And as a matter of fact, even went so far as to say you might still be showing positive on tests, but you're probably not as you're probably not spreading COVID anymore. There are a couple issues here. Okay. One, if 100% of the population was already vaxxed up with COVID, okay, if 100% of the population was vaxxed up with the COVID vaccines, right, then it doesn't matter. Yeah, get COVID, get Omicron, whatever the fuck, you're fine. You're gonna be fine. You're not gonna die. You're not gonna fucking go to the hospital. You're gonna be out for like 2 days, 3 days, right? You're going to be out for 2 days. You're going to feel bad. You're not going to have your taste, but you're going to recover. It's going to be similar to the seasonal flu. As a matter of fact, it's going to be, as I've said before, most likely less deadly than the seasonal flu. However, we don't live in that world. We don't live in a country where there's like a reasonable amount of people that are fucking vaccinated. Double vaccinated, boosted up. We don't live in that world, motherfucker. We live on a planet. We live on a continent. We live in a country where homies are straight up like, yeah, no, I'm just not getting vaccinated still. I'm not going to do it. You can't make me do it. You can't make me do it. I will not get vaccinated. So if you're that guy, one, the likelihood that COVID doesn't escape your body or leave your body in the immediate 5 days or 3 days or whatever the recovery period is, obviously increases. Okay. So if you are unvaccinated, you're fucking up the whole game for the rest of us.
XQC.
Okay. At this stage, if you're unvaccinated, you're not only not protecting yourself, but you're also the reason why we have to implement these fucking rigorous lockdown measures. If we lived in a country where everyone was vaccinated, I would be advocating first and foremost, like I did originally, when the vaccines first came out, as like a full-blown open up the economy, I'm trying to suck on doorknobs type beat. Okay, that's what my advocacy would be in. Be a fucking anti-masker. But because we're not there, because we are never going to get there, unfortunately, we have to take more restrictive measures. Okay? Now, the real fear that I have, even though Antonio Fauci is personally considering not personally, but the CDC is considering implementing 5-day testing measures on top of the lowered quarantine restrictions. I guess improving the quarantine restrictions a little bit by saying you at least have to get tested. But the reason why they didn't do that originally, my fear, my speculation is because there aren't fucking tests. Okay? Because as is the case with every single step of this goddamn pandemic or bandemic, whatever you want to fucking call it, we have consistently fallen short on what is necessary. We just don't have tests. So what are you going to do? You don't have a test. You can't get tested. So what's up? You're not going to get back to work? No, of course. They want you to get the fuck back to work because the ultimate goal is get the fuck back to work.
HasanAbi.
And I believe that's the real reason why they they after lowering it to 5 days, they didn't actually fucking qualify that by stating you can only get out in public in 5 days after you tested negative. Okay?
The real bottom line that you want to be concerned about is, are we getting protected by the vaccines from severe disease leading to hospitalization?
Dr. Fauci says the CDC may now update some of its new guidance, potentially recommending people with asymptomatic infections and no fever get a negative test before ending their isolation at 5 days. And there's growing concern for children.
Why is there growing concern for children? Because more children than ever before are showing up in hospitals now.
Enjoying the content.
Why are they showing up in hospitals? Because they are the highest unvaccinated population. So because they're the highest unvaccinated population, now the number is still, you know, insignificant in comparison to like who's actually dying from COVID. But given that we do not know the long-term results of getting COVID, the likelihood that you could get long COVID, the likelihood that, you know, it could have debilitating problems down the line, even including like losing IQ points with brain fog and shit like that over the course of COVID, like it has created a situation where kids are also at risk. Okay? Babies are getting fucking COVID. How are you going to deal with that? How do you know what kind of negative consequence that's going to have on your child? Huh. Can't believe the kids are anti-vax. People pago. Yeah, no, it's the little fucking dumbass baby who's like, I don't want to get this vaccine. Goo goo gaga, motherfucker.
Last week, the nation reported a 66% increase in children admitted to the hospital because of COVID-like symptoms. This morning, the FDA now authorizing booster shots for 12 to 15-year-olds. But the youngest kids, still fully unvaccinated, are still at risk.
The high fevers came in waves. She just laid on me basically for 3 days straight.
Thank you, Hasan.
Sarah Barlow's 2-year-old daughter tested positive and spent 4 days in the hospital.
Minor F. F is incoming. F is going. There's always going to be a 1% drop of frames, okay? We're now, you know,
CDCDs.
It's just going to happen. I'll pause the video when it happens and I'll continue. It's just like click, 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 couple F's in succession, and then we move on, okay? Don't cry about it. Let's keep going.
It can get bad. It's not just a simple cold for everybody.
And now America's schools are weighing whether to reopen. Dozens of colleges are already gearing up to start their semesters online. Atlanta public schools are switching to online-only classes this week. But in New York City, about 1 million students are expected to be back in person with new COVID safety measures.
We lost almost 2 years of education. We can't do it again.
And all that demand for testing.
So we need tests. We need tests. We need to have as many tests as possible so we can figure out who the fuck has COVID. But we don't have enough tests. We need tests to be able to get back to work. We need tests to be able to figure out if we should quarantine. And the CDC's decision reflects that need, reflects that reality. And this 5-day quarantine shit straight up reeks of don't wear masks, okay? Like they did in the beginning of the pandemic. Remember when the CDC said, oh yeah, don't wear a mask. It's not that important. Masks don't actually provide coverage. And then they came out and were like, actually, we had to lie to you about the mask thing because, you know, we needed PPO for, we needed protective gear for our nurses and for our healthcare folks. You know what I mean? Our folks in healthcare. And I feel like we're literally, PPE, sorry. I feel like we're literally doing that right now because there's not enough tests out there. How are you going to fucking rip the rest of the fucking planet? Exhaust all natural resources, exploit and extract all natural resources from the third world, do imperialism, and then you still can't fucking you know, you still can't offer tests to the American public in a time of need. What's up, dude? How are you not going to do that? How are you not going to be able to do that? Shit's like fucking falling apart. Okay?
Let's go.
And for the record, there is that negative consequence that we saw of the CDC saying, yeah, you don't have to wear a mask, right? Remember? The conservatives never gave that up. They talked about it non-fucking stop. As a matter of fact, they talk about it to this day. Remember when Dr. Anthony Fauci said, don't wear a mask? And then they wanted you to wear a mask? Well, why would I wear a mask if they can't even figure it out? When I originally criticized the CDC's decision to basically change the quarantine restrictions without any new evidence, without any new data, that other epidemiologists were also upset about. Epidemiologists were upset about outside of the CDC. This was one of my main concerns. Obviously, my primary concern was now COVID is going to spread even fucking harder at a time when Omicron is just ripping through the country. And my second concern was that this would greatly undermine the authority of the CDC, which is why I always got fucking annoyed when people were just trying to state that I was doing conspiracy theories about the CDC. Guess what? I was fucking right. Look at Ben Shabibo. Ben Shapiro, who is, of course, a misinformation agent himself, had this to say about the CDC's decision. Where is it? Twitchy team caught a good Twitter thread from... Wait, hold on. Hold on. I'm gonna... I don't want to free scroll on Twitter. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Ben also said that the CDC is... So the vaccine only works against the virus that the vaccinated people are transmitting. I'm so confused. Yeah, you are confused because you're a fucking idiot. Okay, Fauci says vaccinated and boosted people could do things like go outside restaurants if they know people around them are also vaccinated and boosted. Yeah, this is like, there is a failure to communicate the problem here. There's a failure in communication. And Antonio Fauci's only job is to quite literally communicate this shit. Okay?
Let's go.
Oh, here it is. Here, this is what I was going to say. So yesterday, Ben Shapiro tweeted this out. When the U.S. is considering adding a negative test to its 5-day isolation guidance for people with asymptomatic COVID-19, the White House's top medical advisor says, Dr. Anthony Fauci says, the CDC got significant pushback on its recommendation last week. I was fucking right. Everyone else, once again, that shit on me for fucking negative engagement farming was completely fucking wrong. Suck my dick, everybody else, okay? Here it is. Here's a one fuck you, and here's another fuck you. Suck it, okay? Double suck me. Suck me from the front and also from the back. Now, that's unimportant, obviously, in the grand scheme of things. What's actually important with respect to this fucking story is that, obviously, this kind of change...
Thanks for
okay?
The leftist
Obviously, this kind of change in the CDC's rhetoric, when their main goal is to set these guidelines and communicate them effectively, is that this kind of misinformation will be utilized by people like Ben Shapiro to further cause chaos and to further undermine its credibility. And that's precisely what he's doing here. Amazing how quickly the science changes. Miraculous how fast new data pours in. No wonder only the experts, trademark, can understand it. Probably it's totally apolitical and has nothing to do with the public pressure from the administration's leftist allies. So what this moron, what this baboon is admitting / also failing to consider is that, yes, there is a level of public pressure that they are influenced by. Okay? It's about who they're getting that pressure from, though. And if this dumbass does not comprehend that, like, the original decision to lower it is pressure from the business owners and those who are titans of commerce, then I don't know what to tell you. That is precisely what is going on here. The original decision, as admitted by Fauci, was to make sure that commerce continues, to make sure that society functions, because there weren't going to be enough pilots, there weren't going to be enough hostesses, there weren't going to be enough waitresses, there weren't going to be enough retail workers during the holiday season, and God forbid that happens in a country like the United States of America. Then, you know, full-blown economic collapse, boys. Because of the way that Omicron was spreading, because of how fast Omicron was spreading.
9 months with perfection. Here's to a mil more.
And that's the reason why they went fucking balls to the wall and didn't even include a negative test in their original lowering of the quarantine restrictions.
Hassle.
So while Ben Shapiro is technically right in the sense that, yes, some of these decisions are made by outside influences, and it's not necessarily, it's more like a balance. It's a delicate balancing act between what the public's perception is going to be, how much they actually follow the restrictions that are placed by the CDC, and also where the stress is coming from. So if the public is not following the protocols, they're like, well, maybe we should lower them so that they will actually follow the protocols, which is idiotic in my opinion. Okay? Because that's precisely what they said, by the way. This is not my take. This is the CDC's own narrative on this issue. They said they did this because not because there was new data available, there wasn't, but because one, the public was not following 5-day or 10-day quarantine measures anyway, because it was far too long for them. So the public stress is there. And also because Omicron was ripping through the fucking lands. And when Omicron is spreading so rapidly, and if you're vaccinated, it has less likelihood of fucking you over. It's less severe, 50% less hospitalizations, at least according to data coming out of the UK. That it's not necessary to quarantine for as long, especially because if you are asymptomatic and vaccinated, the likelihood that you're going to continue spreading it in the aftermath of 5 days is lower. Okay?
F.
So, having said all that, that's the reason why they made this, because of additional public pressure from, you know, obviously business owners. Yes, I know there's an F. I am aware. There's public pressure from those who are... Oh, shit. Okay, dude. There's no shot this is exclusively... Hold on. Also a GPU bug. Don't know.
Come to Brazil.
I just... Motherfucking didn't DDU clean drivers? I did all of that. Shut the fuck up. I did all of it. I did all of it. I did all the drivers. Don't talk to me about this shit, okay? Please stop. I straight up fucking did everything that you guys are ever going to suggest. Please stop. Okay? Also, Dr. Jordan Peterson has some fucking, you know, doctor shit to discuss that we'll get to in a second. Anyway.
Sparkling heart.
As I was stating, however, like I said, as I was stating, that we are at a point where the CDC, in my opinion, fucked up, like they did originally, like Fauci did originally about mask wearing. Okay, and that this will be used against them by misinformation agents and those who want to fucking further undermine the CDC's credibility beyond what they are doing to themselves. Okay. These are uncertain times, but the only certainty is that you're probably going to get fucking COVID if you go outside. You're probably going to get Omicron, but also most likely if you're boosted, if you're vaccinated, if you're double vaxxed, it's not going to be as bad as the prior versions of COVID. The only other certainty similar to that is the top of the hour ad break that comes at the top of the hour. A 60-second ad break that is unavoidable unless you have already subscribed for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime, or if you got gifted a sub. Gifted subs, unfortunately, are inconsistent, though. You know, you might not get it. Like antibodies. You might not get the gifted sub. You might not get lucky. People will be gifting it, but you might not be the one who receives it. So the certainty is with a $5 subscription or a Twitch Prime, which is free. Here's the 1 minute ad break now. I'm double vax, no booster, and this variant is a pain in the ass. At least I'm not hospitalized right now.
Now, in many instances, slow down the wait for your results. One of the nation's largest testing companies, Quest Diagnostics, tells ABC that their average processing time has gone.
What do you say to people who go, I'm following guidelines, I stay socially distanced and take the consequences for not taking the vaccine, but I won't take the vaccine because I'm not afraid of dying? Umbrella 6, thank you for the 5 either subs. I don't fucking know, man. Then die. That's what you say. Then die, dumbass. Okay? Then if you get COVID, I'm not going to fucking mourn you. And I'm going to make fun of you, actually, for dying on your own. Like, you wanted to die so bad, and now you're fucking dead. Or worse, you're in the fucking hospital. And you're not dead yet. I'm going to fucking sit there, and I'm going to shoot a TikTok video literally doing the Fortnite L dance over your fucking dying body, okay? As a team of nurses try to, you know, make sure that you don't get bed sores from laying on one side. I'm going to be waiting for that fucking shift change so that I can get the right moment so I can do a fucking, you know, L nerd dance, okay? I'm going to do a TikTok dance over your fucking dying body. That's what you should tell people. And then they'll fucking cry and they'll be like, what do you mean? That's kind of fucked up. And then, you know, you turn around and you say, okay, well then avoid it, dumbass, okay? You don't want me to fucking TikTok dance over your dying body at the hospital when you got a fucking vent inside of your throat, okay? Then get the vaccine. It's like there's nothing you can do. You're talking to a brick wall. You're talking to someone who's like, I understand that death is a possibility and I do not care. If you are not afraid of dying, then you should not care that I'm going to make fun of you when you die, okay? It's really simple. Don't fucking die, okay? Vented patients are unconscious. Yes, but while the person you're talking to has the processing power of a vegetable, their brain is supposed to understand that, like, before they get vented, you know, you'll still make fun of them. So right now, I suspect the person you're talking to, having a conversation, is not vented yet, and they're not unconscious yet. So they'll understand that anger and that fear of resentment and that, you know, you're emotionally manipulating them into getting the vaccine is basically what I'm saying. Okay? Went golfing with my conservative unvaxxed friend Friday, and he didn't tell me that his girlfriend that he lives with tested positive 3 days prior. We drove together, and he didn't wear a mask in the car. I'm beyond pissed, and I don't know if I can keep being his friend, to be honest. Yeah, that shit is really fucked up. I mean, it's like completely unacceptable, dude. That's like
4 months, baby, I'm back.
Fat and old people are it's fat and old people that are dying. You should stop scaremongering. Dude, you are most likely fucking fat. Shut the fuck up, okay? Shut the fuck up. There's like 3 skinny conservatives, and every conservative anti-vaxxer acts like they're literally like 6% body fat, shredded the fuck up. You're fat, okay? You're an American. Automatically, I suspect you probably have comorbidities because of your unhealthy fucking diet, and you're probably fat too on top of that. Shut the fuck up, okay? It's like, it's ridiculous that we are still making these stupid fucking arguments.
Hi, Hassie.
Motherfuckers be like, oh, fat people are dying. I'm like, have you looked around? You live in like Oklahoma, dog. Now, there are obviously systemic issues that we need to conquer to be able to fucking fix America's diets, but that's a long-term solution. That's not easy to fucking deal with right now. So in the short term, before we fix that long-term problem, maybe we should focus on areas where, I don't know, we could save fat and old people from fucking dying. I think that's a good way to go about it. I'm fat. My entire fucking family's fat. I don't want them to die. So we're all unvaccinated. Shut the fuck up.
Love you, chat. Stay healthy.
You wear nail polish, Goofy? Okay. Your mom likes it. I don't know why you have a problem with it. Don't make me ground you for potential, you know, potentially thinking that gender norms are so fucking rigid.
The internet is a downer. Glad to be here less than 3.
Didn't we just watch Mia Malkova talk about how she wants to fuck me? What's going on here, dude? Like, why do fucking idiotic, sexless weirdos on the fucking internet come in here and go, oh my God, you got fucking nail polish, Goofy? Yeah, even with the nail polish, it seems like, I don't know, a porn star that you jerk off to every night still wants to have sex with me. So maybe you should reorient your priorities, okay? Maybe you should do a little bit of self-examination. Maybe it's not that significant to have fucking nail polish. It's not that big of a deal.
I have COVID. Am I allowed in here, Has?
I'm not the father. I'm not the stepfather. I'm the father that stepped up. Anyway. Goofy. Nothing more manly than being fucking terrified of your of the way that you will be perceived. You know? Nothing more manly than just genuinely being scared of how others will perceive you. They'll think you're gay. Oh no. God forbid, if you have fucking painted nails, people are gonna be like, "Are you gay?" Like there's something wrong with that too. That's like another stupid thing. Anyway. Oh, here's another quick F. Brief F here.
Bing bong thong.
And we're back. Okay, now it's doing that AMD software problem as well. Bro, this didn't happen. I literally
Cheers.
I literally fucking ran tests for hours, like 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours, okay? Application name, Radeon software, EXE, failed. No, that's earlier. Yeah, the driver, display driver, AMD, WDDMG, stop responding and has successfully recovered. This is like, it's wild to me that I ran diagnostics for like hours and hours and hours and none of these issues came up. And of course, the moment that I fucking start streaming, because I was doing a broadcast like bandwidth test.
"10 months, let's go."
Anyway. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Gone from about 1 day to now 2 or 3 days. And with Omicron's transmissibility, that extra wait time, it can make a big difference. TJ?
All right, Trevor, all for
The drop frames are causing driver crash, not the other way around. Maybe. That would be really weird, though. Okay, let's move on.
CBS News.
This one is Dr. David Agus on Omicron spread, CDC guidelines, and boosters for kids.
Dr. David Agus joins us now to bring us up to date on all the latest COVID stuff. I want to pick it up, David, with where Meg just left off, that they did not require a negative test after 5 days of isolation. That struck a lot of people as not making any sense. Did it make sense to you?
Certainly, if we had the resources and the ability, I think a negative test at 5 days makes all the sense in the world. When you look at the data, it takes about 7 days till most people start to test negative, and some even longer. So having that negative test is a way to stop the virus. The problem is we are still limited with testing in this country.
But I also heard the CDC say that sometimes you can test positive even though you're no longer emitting any of the, you can test positive although you're no longer dangerous. And that's why they said, listen, you don't, after 5 days, you're okay. It was very confusing.
Yeah, I mean, there isn't, you're right, there is an issue, is that the test looks for 30 letters, the 30,000 letters of the code. And you could see that in viral fragments. So you may test positive even though you're not infectious. And we've seen people test positive several weeks out without being infected. So it's not, you know, a simple answer. Certainly, if you test negative in 5 days, it is safe for you to go out with a mask over the next 5 days.
Yes. This is the main point, is that if you test negative in the first 5 days, okay, especially if you get a double negative test, like, yeah, then you're fine, okay? And a lot of vaccinated people are reporting both feeling fine and even showing negative on tests, okay? But ultimately, if you release that, if you change the restrictions, the parameters of what the quarantine is supposed to look like in a country where there's still a fuckload of unvaccinated people, okay, then everyone's gonna be like, all right, I'm good after 5 days. Fuck it, let's go, YOLO. Especially when you don't specify that you have to test negative to get out of quarantine. Wildly irresponsible.
The real question are the others. We need more testing. Testing needs to increase across the country to be able to stop the spread of the virus.
Let's talk about the kids going back to school, because schools really seem to be trying to figure this out. Do you think it's safe for children to go back into the class today?
I think we're going to have to, we have to have in-person learning. And what we need is, again, more testing in the school. So testing should be mandated in schools. And if you test negative, you can go to school. I think that's the way we should be doing things. And much of the world is doing that, particularly in the European countries. And you have to have a mask mandate when numbers are up, like they are in most of the country with Omicron.
Now let's talk about the number of Omicron cases. We keep hearing the numbers are very scary, David. You hear 300,000 that they've topped. We keep hearing it hasn't even hit the peak yet. Should we be focusing on the number of cases or the number of hospitalizations? How scared should we be about this number?
I think you hit it, Gail. I mean, we had 500,000 cases in a day over the last few days. And so hospitalizations are what matter. If you look at a state like Maryland that has one of the highest vaccination rates, they're at the highest rate of hospitalization they've been in throughout the almost 2 years of the pandemic. So there are places now where particularly unvaccinated individuals with this rapid spread of Omicron are basically filling up hospitals. We're canceling elective procedures in much of Los Angeles. I've had patients, cancer patients, where their surgeries for cancer have all been canceled over the last week and going forward because hospitals are being filled up. And what we need to focus on is that number, because that is what's limiting our society in many respects. And so Omicron will spread. We're going to peak over the next several weeks, particularly in areas that had an early onset of Omicron, and then it'll go down afterwards. But over the next several weeks, it's going to be rough.
Yeah, we're at the fucking total GG boys, it's a wrap stage of the pandemic more than before. No. Obviously, we were already at the fucking GG no re stage from the jump. Like, we were like, fuck it, we'll be fine. When we didn't have enough masks, enough protective gear, we were like, fuck it, COVID will go away. Just fucking sit at home for 14 days stage in the beginning of the pandemic. And like throughout the entire pandemic, we've seen time and time again, we're like, fuck it, it'll be all right. 100,000 other people die. And then we're like, oh man, that was really bad. Okay. That was really bad. All right, well, what about now? And then the pandemic keeps like throwing new hurdles in front of us, and we just keep saying, fuck it. Now we've officially gotten to a point where even the CDC is like, yeah, it's all right. You know? We just don't have enough tests. Boys, we do not have enough tests. Okay? Too many people got COVID. We do not have enough tests. We are doing what the UK oi bruvs did originally when Boris Johnson famously came out and said, we're going to take it on the fucking chinny, bruv. Yes. That's right. We're going to be taking it on the chin. I'm Boris Johnson. And And COVID has won. And that's the point we're at now. Fucking awesome. You know? Great.
Any Mexicans in chat has.
What a throw. What a giant throw.
Now, millions of American children are returning to school this morning in the face of a high jump in new COVID cases across much of the country. Most schools are doing in-person classes, but some school districts are teaching remotely. The number of new cases reported in the U.S. last week hit an all-time high. Nearly 500,000 in one day. Meg Oliver is in Paterson, New Jersey, where students are staying home. Meg, good morning.
Nate, good morning. Paterson is one of several New Jersey school districts opting for a remote start this winter. While they are firmly in the minority right now, some teachers unions are hoping that their districts follow suit, especially in hard-hit cities like New York.
The Omicron outbreak shows no signs of slowing down in New York City. New cases jumped 218% in just 2 weeks. Hospitalizations up 148%. To keep schools open, the city is sending an additional 2 million test kits into schools and doubling the number of students tested each week. But the teachers union is asking for in-person learning to be put on pause. And teachers like Camille Eterno are
Dude, fuck the media. Literal clickbait Andy's freaking the public out 24/7. Dude, what do you want? Do you want the media to like... Dude, there are 400,000 people, like new people getting COVID every day. Okay? Or some fucking insane number now. Do you think that that's not newsworthy? Like, I don't understand. What are they supposed to fucking say?
What is your favorite line?
You are very negative. You're right. I should be excited and acting like it's not a big deal, dude. You know? I don't understand why you guys are freaking out, dude. We got 400,000 cases of COVID on our 7-day average currently. Why are you guys freaking out? That's so dumb, dude. Just don't freak out and it'll go away. Close your fucking eyes. Close your eyes, go la 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 la, I can't hear you, I can't see you, and it'll go away. Just be positive, forehead.
Good morning. Take your vitamins since COVID is an inevitability.
What are y'all fucking nuts, dude? Are you stupid? Are you crazy? Bro, look at this. That's just new cases, right? The 7-day average for new cases right now is 413 413,000, right? Death numbers obviously have the death numbers are obviously not as high. Luckily, okay, because of vaccines, by the way, because at least like more than half the population was smart enough to get fucking vaccinated. But can you imagine if we still had no vaccines right now at this stage? We would be getting shredded, dude. We would be getting fucking obliterated. Oh, effing. It's effing again. Little baby F again. Wheezy F baby.
Where are the crystal mammoths?
Look at that. 7-day average is 1,350, dude. Now, in comparison to last year's spike, remember, the last year's holiday season was fucking destroying the country because we didn't have vaccines yet. Okay? Last year's holiday season destroyed the country when we didn't have vaccines yet. We had 2,600, so we have half the number of deaths now. Okay? But it's weird to basically say, you know, yeah, there is an asteroid coming, but you shouldn't look up. Just don't look up. Don't be negative about it. You know, just act like it's not there and it won't impact you. It won't hurt you. Oh, here's the interactive map with the current COVID cases. Fucking hate this. The New York Times, just like stop paywalling this shit. Oh my God, it's so annoying. Oh, this map doesn't load because, you know, I have to stop it from getting to the paywall.
Hassle.
The vaccine is killing people too. Let's not forget that. Wait, you're fucking joking, right? I mean, you are, I assume. The vaccine is not killing people. The only place where the vaccine is killing people is in Facebook posts, okay? It's not a real thing. Excited for Trump to be reelected so we can get over this junk. Yeah, totally. Trump is gonna destroy COVID, dude. He's gonna destroy it by, again, doing exactly what you want people to do, which is stop focusing on it. Which you're wrong. The media is going to be extra annoying about COVID when Trump is president, because it's an administration that they despise on top of everything else.
Have it any other way.
So the only thing you'll hear about is COVID for a very long time if Trump becomes president again. We live in a country where 2/3 of the Republicans, according to one of the latest studies conducted, 2/3 of the Republicans believe that the American democracy is falling apart because the election was stolen. Okay? 2/3. It's over. There's no way to manage that. Okay? There's no way to fucking figure out like how to reach out to the other side and have this robust and wonderful debate with them to personally change their minds. People have made up their fucking minds. They do not give a fuck. If they are met with facts, then they could just go, nope, I don't care, turn around and desperately seek out alternative sets of facts that they can easily get from Facebook and other places. And that's what's going to keep happening. It's like 2/3 of Republicans, dude. That's nuts.
Oh no, another drama day? Sadge.
What's your opinion on snowbirds traveling to Florida this year? I don't know what that means. Are you saying snowbirds like, people from not Florida, people from like the East Coast coming? Biden stroke?
16 months of surviving COVID, let's go. Also the CDC said I can deep throat a cactus.
Wait, what is this? President Biden? Biden?
Here's some historical context. 50 years ago, ranchers got over 60 cents for every dollar a family spent on beef. Today, they get about 39 cents. 50 years ago, hog farmers got 40 to 50 cents for each dollar they spent. Today, it's about 19 cents. And the big companies are making massive profits. While their profits go up, the prices you see at the grocery stores go up commensurate.
I need to go
the
touch
prices
some
farmers
grass.
receive for the products they are bringing to market go down. This reflects the market being distorted by lack of competition.
This is 100% correct, by the way. He's not wrong about this. We covered this story, even though vegans that make up 4% of the audience were upset about it. But even when we covered it, there is a severe monopolization in, or there's a centralization of power within the poultry and meat industry in general, where the people that actually end up buying, like the buyers are, the buyers markets basically have become monopolized. Like very few people that can engage in price leadership get to dictate how little they can pay for the farmers that are, raising the cows and shit.
Can't believe America.
He's completely right about that, for sure.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. Capitalism without competition isn't capitalism. It's exploitation.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, guys. That's not real capitalism, dude. When you're like when you hit him with that's not real capitalism. Real capitalism hasn't been tried. I love that we make, people loved making that joke against like fucking theory nerds and shit. Okay. But also, that is real capitalism. Capitalism.
Thanks for all
capitalism without any sort of fucking government restriction is still real capitalism. That's for capital owners utilizing the government and engaging in rent-seeking behavior and monopolizing every sector is just using, still doing exactly what capital owners would like to do, which is to increase the profit motive. Why the fuck would they not do that? You can't say it's corporatism or whatever the fuck, but it's still capitalism. The entire point of difference here is that commodity production has not changed in any capacity. Commodity production is still exactly the same. Whether you want to call it corporatism or cronyism, whatever the fuck you want to call it, it's still exactly, precisely the fucking same. Okay? Capitalism without exploitation is not a real thing. It's not a real concept. Whether you mean the Marxist understanding of exploitation or even the colloquial understanding of exploitation, under capitalism, there's always going to be exploitation, no matter what. It's kind of the main thing. The reality is that, you know, capital owners, okay, capital owners justify that exploitation. They say, no, of course we're going to get the fucking profits. Why? Because meritocracy is real. We worked hard and we played hard, and that's how we got here. And also, too, because, hey, we assume the risk. 80% of businesses fail. We assume the risk. So, therefore, we have to realize some of those rewards. A mixed market economy, or rather a social democracy, simply uses the government to rein in the unfettered capitalist behavior.
Boys and girls into NBS.
Okay? That's what it seeks to do. And some Marxists believe, or most Marxists rather, believe that a welfare state like that is actually created to extend capitalism, to make sure that it continues regardless of the natural boom-bust cycle. All of this, of course, is, yes, done at the expense of the global south, obviously. So, it's like when the left says real communism has not yet been tried. If you can point to an example of a fucking stateless, borderless, moneyless society, then yeah, I'll gladly take the fucking L on that, dude. Like, people say real communism hasn't been tried, but like, there has never been a moneyless, stateless, borderless, classless society. That's never been realized. It's like supposed to be an end state that we've never achieved or arrived at. It's the only time it's happened is Star Trek, okay? Whereas commodity production, or you can make the argument that like real socialism hasn't been tried or whatever, okay? That's a more reasonable assertion. That's one that you can actually, you know, point to. There's tangible examples of socialism being tried, and there's many failures of it, okay?
10 months, let's go, Brandon Pogo.
But yeah, the communist concept is idiotic. It's just like, it's never been a thing ever. Unless, you know, there's something has happened and I was unaware of it. Okay? So,
ratio time.
Chatter's right, actually, communes in Mendo. Yeah. Bro, that F was so small I didn't even fucking notice it. Chill.
At HasanAbi, we should do a poll to see how many chatters have COVID rip.
What about the caveman? Serious question. What you're talking about is primitive communism. Okay? And that, you know, that doesn't matter at all. We're in a post-industrial age era, so it's just like unrelated to the equation or conversation in any meaningful capacity now. Anyway.
That's what we're seeing in meat and poultry and those industries. Capitalism without competition isn't capitalism. It's exploitation.
So this is great, okay? Like as far as like pushing the needle rhetorically towards a social democracy that is still capitalist. But the reality is,
that's what we're,
as far as what we've seen from the Joe Biden administration, they have no interest in beefing up our welfare programs or social safety nets in any meaningful capacity. So it's just, once again, nothing but this, okay? As all this is. And even on the front of this, even on this side, even when we're talking about just simply talking, even those empty words don't make a whole lot of sense. Because capitalism without competition is just exploitation is idiotic. Exploitation occurs even when there is competition.
Seen in meat and poultry and those industries now. Small independent farmers and ranchers are being driven out of business, sometimes.
I agree with you. Why does every book call the Soviet communist state then, and if it has not yet been tried? I mean, the Chinese Communist Party calls itself communist as well. The Cuban Party is also a communist party, but in its, I mean, they readily admit that this is a final state that they try to achieve, and that they're in a transitional socialist state for the most part. That's what the fuck that is. The Chinese Communist Party readily admits that they themselves are not in a communist country. They are not a communist country at all. That they are simply a communist party trying to achieve a communist state, and trying to achieve that communist state through a sequence of, I would even go so far as say, social democratic reforms for the most part. That's what that is. And when there is global capitalism, as we all know, we live in a capitalist planet. Okay, communism lost. We live in a capitalist planet. Within that infrastructure, it is impossible to just like set up an autonomous commune. Okay, that is going to be communist in and of itself.
He said he's funny. Allah help me.
Okay, you can't have like a self-reliant, sustainable communist nation in one part of the fucking planet. It's never going to happen. That will never happen. The Amish do it? Yeah, okay, bro. Anyways,
businesses that have been around for generations. It strikes at their dignity, their respect, and the family legacies so many of them carried for generations after generation.
The only place where communism has been sustainably achieved is Revachol, okay? And then the international community, the moralists, got together and, invaded in an incredibly bloody conflict and basically bombed Revachol to oblivion, only to take it over and institute a neoliberal moralist regime, okay? The communards lost.
As high.
That is, for the record, Disco Elysium memes, okay? I'm just doing Disco Elysium memes. They're very good. It's so good. It's not a spoiler either. It's like, that's a backstory.
Love you and you Hassasi.
Okay. Yeah. The Mazovian economics. Cross-Mazovian socioeconomics. I didn't hear about this in world history, not surprising from a neoliberal education. Yeah, you didn't hear about Revachol because it's not real. Okay, but won't play it on stream though. I'm getting closer and closer to potentially experimenting with it on stream, okay? Just, I need a little bit of a push. Anyway. Don't care, didn't ask, plus your Seminese. A Seminese supremacist. That's what I am. Okay. Here is the Florida Surgeon General Joseph Ladapo saying that the state is working to unwind the COVID testing psychology the federal government has prioritized.
We're going to be working to unwind the sort of testing psychology that our federal leadership has managed to, unfortunately, get most of the country in over the last.
Yeah, we don't need to test, dude. It's like the testing psychology is silly. I mean, this is quite literally like, if we close our eyes, then COVID can't hurt you. Okay, but instead of like, Ron Death Santa saying it, this is the fucking Surgeon General, dog.
You old man.
Like, this is a doctor saying,
the top of the hour ads.
Fuck it.
Capitalism is a disease. Get well soon. Sweaty less than 3.
Thank you, Hunter Biden's crack for the 10 gifted subs.
Last 2 years. We need to unwind this testing sort of planning and living one's life around testing.
But do we really want that kind of society? I mean, if that's the case, you would have to give up your wealth to contribute to the greater good. Not saying that's a bad thing, but I want to hear your opinion. Of course, dude. It's a silly fucking question. That's a silly, silly question. I'd be willing to part ways with my endless amount of wealth from your point of view, because it looks like ginormous, for much less than fucking communism, dude. Okay? For much, much less. But the problem is, when people ask that question, they mean just me. That's the issue. I mean, I personally part ways with almost more than 50%. Yeah, more than 50% of my yearly revenue willingly and gladly to live in the United States of America in California. Okay? So that already happens. I doubt that. I mean, that literally happens. The amount of revenue that I fucking generate for the state. I don't think most people would do that. It's like the lives in Cali vote blue, but won't let old people get a home. Yeah, I think that is a problem. Are you telling me that we get global communism if you gave up your $3 billion mansion in 2007 Camry? What the fuck, dude? Yeah. And I'm just refusing to do it. Anyway, I love when a medical authority is, playing the role of a politician and says shit like this. You know, the testing psychology of the Biden administration mandated at the federal level, that doesn't go with the Florida vibes, okay? We might be a ginormous state, but guess what? We got vibes here, okay? And the vibe check is failing right now, ladies and gentlemen. It's failing big time. People are getting tested. We're finding out that they have COVID. That's not good. What's actually a lot better is just not testing at all and, leaving it up to luck.
Without it, we're going to be sort of stuck in the same cycle. So, it's really time for people to be living, to make the decisions they want regarding vaccination, yes! To enjoy the fact that many people have natural immunity. We're going to...
Bro, literally everything he said is psychotic. Like, this is a doctor. This is the Floridian Surgeon General, boys. And he basically said, just live, laugh, love, enjoy your moments, okay? And also, don't stress this whole testing shit, okay? They're testing a little too much. We need to dial that back. And also, now you have natural immunity. That's great. That's a cool thing. Again, that natural immunity is inconsistent unless you are vaccinated. Oh, it's effing again. Oh, my Lord. It's effing again. Well, baby F here. The Fs are getting worse now. They're getting longer, okay? That's a bigger F than before.
To be...
No, this is the Surgeon General of Florida, chat. I mean, this is my doctor, dog. I'm gonna die, okay? That's just what it is, all right?
It's for me, baby.
Look at my doctor. I'm gonna get COVID. Straight up, just fucking, saying, hey, it's all good, baby. Oh my God, people are still saying fucking effing. It's effing. Dude, just pause and unpause, dude. It's not that hard, dummies. We've been through this so many fucking times, dude. I'm absolutely perma-banning people like this, by the way, for the record. I don't. Anyway, Scoop, some days ago, Chatter told me that 95% German are... Wait, what? Does that mean we're getting a blue Florida? No. No, that does not mean we're getting a blue Florida. We're not ever getting the idea that in America, having like hundreds of thousands of your supporters die from preventable disease because they refuse to get the treatment or the prevention. The idea that that is going to change the electoral outcome or the electoral map in any meaningful capacity is false. Republicans, what do I always say? Republicans do not win elections because there are more Republicans out there that want to vote rather than Democrats. They do not win elections on policy positions that are better overall than the Democratic side. They win elections by cheating. They game the system. Okay? If you play to the refs instead of playing to the fucking crowd or playing by the rules, you're going to win. And that's precisely what they do. Okay? Anyway, let's continue. Freedom is messy, but it improves everything. Jordan Peterson talking to friend of the show, Daniel Jebediah Crenshaw.
One of our challenges is convincing people that freedom is actually a good thing, not libertine freedom. I mean,
dude, yeah, no, I think everybody I'm always saying this. I'm always saying I hate freedom. Fellas, don't you hate freedom? I mean, don't we just fucking hate freedom? It's just like a very common leftist position is hating freedom unconditionally, okay?
I mean, like ordered liberty, freedom.
You will never appear as a bad person or wrong if you simply just make up your, opposition's point of view. At least instead of, I don't debate all that much, but I still, at the very least, look at the subject matter, okay? I hear what Republicans are saying. I respond to what they're saying. Republicans, on the other hand, routinely love to just be like, this is what the left believes, which is you cannot be free. Okay?
Freedom within a moral framework, which is what makes me a conservative and not a libertarian. It's more difficult than you might think to convince people. Well, I think you understand it. I think it's a conversation you have pretty often. But convincing people that freedom is indeed, even though it's risky, and even though it's messy, and even though it can allow you to fall on your face sometimes, and even induce suffering that you might think is unjust, it still, in the aggregate, improves things. It improves everything. And it's harder to see that at the moment. And so what people are swept up by is the sort of false promises of immediate action to save something, to fix something, and to take that paternalistic.
This is why he's a loser, by the way. Like, he might end up winning. He might end up winning his incredibly gerrymandered district, but like, this is kind of the reason why he will always lose in the grand scheme of things, because he's like the other side of the Pete Buttigieg coin, where he will engage in the culture war stuff every now and then. But ultimately, he's always like, yeah, immediate action is going to take some time. And no fucking Republican wants to hear that. They want to hear that you will hang people, okay? You will hang Anthony Fauci. That's what they want to hear. They don't want to hear, pontificating on fucking what it means to be free and shit. That's the point. This, I believe, is not appealing to anyone, okay? The only people that love this shit are already like making podcasts. Every single person that this kind of rhetoric is appealing to already has a podcast. And while that number grows every year, that simply is not enough to win elections. Okay?
And so what people are swept up by is the sort of false promises of immediate action to save something, to fix something, and to take that paternalistic government view, that statist view of something. But the thing is, if we actually took a step back and saw the forest for the trees and looked at the long span of history, it is always true that more freedom leads to more prosperity over time, and less of it leads to less, if not complete and utter decay.
Well, I think the diversity argument is actually a weird, warped version of that in some sense, because speaking as a scientist, I hope, part of the reason that freedom works is that we don't actually know what problems are going to come up next, because things actually change, and they change in an unpredictable way. And so we have our traditions to guide us, and thank God for that, because we'd be making endless decisions all the
companies at HasanAbi.
I'm confused as to where diversity factors into this. I don't know why he just like dropped that in there. Let's talk about diversity for a second. Speaking as a scientist, isn't that bad too?
Time otherwise, and we would be in complete disunion. That's not a perfect structure for moving ahead into unknown territory. Because things
So, what's up? Where did that just come from? A lot of people want to hang Fauci for a good reason. Fauci is responsible for funding gain-of-function research. Dude, you are literally a fucking psychopath if you think that, like, no, there is no good reason to want to fucking hang Anthony Fauci. The only reason why you think it's a good reason to want to hang Anthony Fauci is because you've been whipped up into a fucking frenzy by the podcast that you watch, okay? Like, you're making it seem like it's a Nazi experiment to do gain-of-function research. Shut the fuck up, okay? God damn. Like, Anthony Fauci personally fucking enslaved humans and started doing, like, you know, unethical experiments on them. Why he changing that? Everything changes when his last bit was Shapiro saying that a man and women work just like Adam and Eve did. It's malleable, boys. That's what it is. Okay. The pushest uni on earth, maybe
There's
later.
a kind of a...
All right, we'll fucking do that. Yeah, we've already watched this. I think we've seen this. I mean, oh, here is the Anthony Fauci fucking meme. By the way, they've gone off the rails. Republicans have gone off the rails. Here it is. From goalposts, no masks, vaccine, lockdowns, 2 masks, time to change the rules again, 2 lampposts. And he's basically fucking stating, you know, it's time to... He's saying that. He's saying the thing that other chatter was like, so it was just bringing it up. The full comic. Ben Garrison. Ben ponders the future. Increased nose rape. Dude, I hate when I get a vaccine, which I call jab rape. Like anytime your skin or anytime one of your orifices are penetrated for a medical procedure, that's rape. Also, all the times when actual rape happens, that's not rape. That's that's something that we can debate on. Fucking bananas, dude. In the minds of Republicans, everything but the actual act of rape is rape. Ben ponders the future. Pfizer, the permavax. How dare you? Climate continues to change. As in, like, that's just seasons. You know, we're too stupid to understand that it's just seasons, but Ben has figured it out. Fauci goes from goalpost to lamppost, and then he says Hillary takes over. They're still talking about Hillary taking over the country, bro. That's awesome. I love that. It doesn't get any better than to, like, constantly being terrified of Hillary Clinton potentially winning and ruling the country. It's effing again, I know. The Fs are getting longer too. They're getting worse and worse every cycle. More of the frames are dropping every time. And it's happening at a rapid clip now, and I don't know how to fix it, so I'm sorry. Okay, I hope it doesn't get to a point where there's like a permanent F.
Just call Geek Squad Kappa.
It's better than yesterday, though. It's not as bad as yesterday. Yesterday was fucking nuts. You need to hold frame better. Apply the Sigma grind set to stop the Fs. Yeah. Anyway, chat, today we are not going to be relying on chat for tech support, okay? I do not want to hear from you. You do not have access to all of the information. You were not there when I was testing everything. You are also probably not as knowledgeable as you think you are. So I promise I'm good. Thank you for wanting to help me out here, but
greater than display adapters greater than disable anything that isn't.
yes, I closed the video because I'm not going to watch it because I watched it already.
Restart, stream restart. Have a good day.
Anyway, so now we are going to talk about January 6th because it's coming up. In 3 days, America will mourn for the loss of democracy, folks. Okay? America will mourn once again
Reactionary now, Sadge.
democracy ending, okay? Because on January 6th, we had a wonderful democracy leading up to January 6th. And then January 6th happened, and now we don't have a democracy and we don't have anything. It's worse than 9/11, so much worse than 9/11, like triply, okay? Quadruply worse, I would say. And that's just me being nice, okay? Except this is like absolute liberal hysteria, okay? January 6th is like a failed attempt at an insurrection, straight up. That was pretty funny overall. It was. I mean, these motherfuckers were filming themselves breaking into the Capitol, and it was very threatening at the time when it happened because there was a lot of uncertainty, a lot of confusion. But since we've moved past it, every fucking liberal outlet still is like a year later, a return to January 6th. A year later, a return to January 6th where we try to figure out like how the poor Capitol Police Department feels about it. And it's like, it's just not happening, okay? That's not going to have staying power with me. I don't know. Maybe it works for some of you. But I am not one of those people, okay? It's just not working. Wait, hold on. Holy shit. I just turned on Twitter and Sky Blue's naked body just popped up right in front of me. Got to mute her. Oh, my Lord. That could have been terrifying. Imagine I turn on Twitter and it's just like titties and dick. That would be terrible. I mean, it'd be great, but also not great because I would get banned. Okay, so let me find this clip before we get into the January 6th CBS News poll. Actually, let's do
CBS News
this.
poll for this week's anniversary of the assault on the Capitol finds that most Americans think something like it will indeed happen again. More than 2/3 in our poll say the events of that day are a sign of increasing political violence in this country. And only 32%, less than a third, see January 6th as an isolated incident. Chris Van Cleve is on Capitol Hill for us. Chris, there's so much in this poll to be worried about, including the number of Americans who see force as potentially justified on a range of political issues. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Tony. That CBS News poll also shows the vast majority of Americans believe democracy is under threat today. And as we get closer to that
I love that. That poll I already mentioned, the vast majority of Americans believe democracy is under threat, for the
Always
record.
A pleasure. Thanks for a great 14.
Comes from 2/3 of the Republicans believing that the election was stolen, and I believe like nearly half, almost, of the Democrats, or maybe less than half, a little bit less than half of Democrats believing that the additional restrictions placed upon voting, the additional burdens that Republican legislatures have placed upon voting is destroying democracy. So, you know, I fucking hate liberals in general, and I shit on them regularly. But when you look at a poll like that, yes, the Democrats are afraid of something that is understandable and also correct, whereas the Republicans are afraid because they're psychotic weirdos. Okay? Like one side, 50% of the voters on one side believe that democracy is under threat as a consequence of legitimate attempts at thwarting or changing the democratic outcomes. The other side just legitimately believes that there is nefarious actors at play beyond those in positions of power in the Republican legislatures, but actually,
That's 2 years. WTF.
but actually straight up
that I will always be your tier
believe
three
that, you know, voter fraud is happening despite zero evidence. I mean, zero, okay? there is less than, if there was less than 0, there's negative evidence. Actually, there is. There's negative evidence that voter fraud happens, okay? Negative. As in, there's only evidence that it doesn't happen. So, despite all that, Republicans still aggressively believe that it is happening. So, I don't know what to fucking say beyond, yeah, it's crazy. It's madness. So, anyway.
January 6th anniversary later this week. The Select Committee investigating the attack on the Capitol is laying out some of its new evidence about what happened that day.
So this part is, you know, this part is like,
anti-vaxxers on the
it's just like lip
show
shit.
So the experts can show how dumb they are in front of the average American.
Okay, this part is just fucking lip shit, but here, let's see what they're
People
going to
have
say.
got to understand the danger of President Trump and the danger that he posed on that day.
Congresswoman Liz Cheney, the Republican vice chair of the House Select Committee investigating the January
Arizona audit shit is proof? Oh, you mean, yeah, it's proof that it didn't happen. Okay, got it. I thought you were trying to say, like, it's proof that voter fraud happened, brother. I was like, maybe you're looking at a different audit, but no, they didn't prove shit.
January 6th attack on Face the Nation Sunday.
The committee has firsthand testimony.
I hate Liz Cheney. Like, there you go. I want nothing to do with this person, okay? I want nothing to do with the Cheney lineage, the bloodline. I want nothing to do with any of that. Okay? And there's no better representation that this is bullshit, like the whole January 6th commission and all this other stuff is just like lip posturing, other than Liz Cheney leading the charge, okay?
Testimony that President Trump was sitting in the dining room next to the Oval Office watching on television as the Capitol was assaulted, as the violence occurred. We know that that is clearly a supreme dereliction of duty.
Mississippi Democrat Benny Thompson chairs the January 6th committee and says there's evidence members of Congress interacted with some rioters.
Some took pictures with people who came to stop the Steal rally, allowed them to come and associate in their offices and other things during that whole rally week.
Nearly a year after the attack, a CBS News poll found 85% of Democrats call it an insurrection, while 47% of Republicans call it patriotism, and 56% of Republicans say participants were defending freedom.
That's
a majority
right,
expect violence over losing in future presidential elections. Capitol Police Chief Thomas Manger says threats to lawmakers have accelerated.
Where does the threat level stand right now?
It's exponentially higher than it was 5 years ago. It remains to be seen if it just...
Oh my God, this fucking dickhead has they both have Kyrgyzstan flags. Oh God. Dude, we should have jailed more of these fucking hogs. I'm sorry. I know that, like, I talk about, you know, FBI involvement and, like, the way that they fucking goad, like, idiotic white supremacists into fucking taking action.
Because it's impossible to respond.
But, like, goddamn, you should do that. Like, if you're running around with a Kyrgyzstan flag at the insurrection, you should probably go to jail for a little bit. Like, what the fuck, dude?
just keeps increasing at the level that it has increased? Or do we as a country get to a point where enough people say enough is enough?
President Biden and Vice President Harris plan to speak here at the Capitol on Thursday to mark the one-year anniversary of January 6th.
Just chill, dude. It's going to come back. I know it's a bigger F. The Fs are getting bigger and bigger and bigger, okay? It's going to keep happening. Just pause and unpause or refresh if you have to. It's just going to be a slideshow. There's going to be a desync. At this point, you should know. Rewind like 50 seconds? No, I paused it. There's nothing happened, okay? Is it because of power issues? No, dude. We fucking don't know, okay? We're trying to troubleshoot it.
Loading 55%.
I think I'm literally just going to buy a new PC, though, at this stage, because I don't know. I don't know what to fucking do. Why is it happening? Did you find out? No, we haven't been able to find out exactly what the cause is. Apparently, other streamers have some issues as well, though. It's not an ongoing thing. It's just a little baby thing, okay? The more you make a big deal out of it, though, the more I don't want to stream. I'm just letting you know, because it's really fucking annoying, because there's nothing I can do about it, and I spent a shitload of time trying to fix it, and we arrived at zero. Like, we arrived at zero conclusions. So, it is really frustrating, and it makes me not want to stream. Bro, people will say F every time. Chill out. Anyway, it's top of the hour. I'm gonna show you perhaps the cringiest fucking video about January 6th so far. From Brian motherfucking Stelter, okay? Before I show you that, though, if you want an uninterrupted ad-free broadcasting experience, all you need to do is subscribe. You can do that for $5. You can do that for free with a Twitch Prime. You can do that by getting a gifted sub. You know, other than the Fs, that is. Here's the 1 minute ad break now.
Happy New Year at HasanAbi. Made it to the 1 year sub club has flex.
We should time out Fs though, mods. We should probably give people a quick timeout for fucking. Yeah, we should blacklist it. Not right now, obviously, but if people spam it, then nuke them a little bit. Thank you, Grouchy Vegan, for the 5 gifted subs. Okay. So, my take on January 6th, we've talked about it a lot. Super Salva, Jor, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. My take on January 6th is that yes, it was a failed insurrection. Yes, we have been goading Republicans into fucking believing bullshit for a very long time. It's a prominent part of the Republican platform to just routinely lie about voter fraud happening. It's not new to Donald Trump. Donald Trump just basically took it to its rational conclusion. And under Donald Trump's administration, people decided to take action, take matters into their own hands, which is expected. Okay? So, you know, that's where we're at now, obviously.
Has slam.
But liberals have taken it to the next stage, and they've continued it in the most liberal way possible. Not only have they not really taken any significant action, but they've continued this like committee and trying to analyze the events that took place and all this other shit without actually, without actually really taking any action whatsoever. So now we're just hyper focused on the aesthetics of January 6th and what it actually means to us. So let's hear what Brian Stelter has to say.
The new year brings an anniversary that some want to forget, that some are actively denying, and that others are determined to remember. The 1 year anniversary of the Trump riots is coming up on Thursday. In the words of CNN analyst Steve Vladek, there is still a stunningly large number of people who don't appreciate how close we came to a cataclysmic constitutional and democratic crisis on January 6th. Or, he said, how alarming it is that a number of states are trying to make such a coup that much.
Dude, that's such a long TTS, dude.
Much easier to pull off next time. Yes, the story of January 6th just keeps getting bigger and bigger, even though it keeps shrinking and shrinking at pro-Trump media outlets. Their line started right away, the minimizing, the denying, the blame shifting. And their fictions have made it harder to stay focused on the facts. So, we're going to devote a good amount of time this morning to the facts.
Oh my God. Oh my Lord, dude. We're gonna devote a good amount of time to fucking the January 6th attacks on democracy is just like such a whack statement to put together.
To the role of the media and to making sense of the aftermath. 1/6 is part of an anti-democratic movement in the U.S., but only part. As Politico reporter Kyle Chaney observed recently, there is a 5-alarm fire happening in real time. But far from ignoring it, the political press has covered it with urgency. The facts we are uncovering are alarming and deserve focus and prioritization by reporters covering our small d democratic government. This is, as he said, one of the defining stories of our era. January 6th was a physical manifestation of virtual radicalization. Online rage showed up at the steps of the U.S. Capitol and some state capitals too. Let's not forget about that. So let's go back to that day and look at how it was shown on your TV in real time.
Throngs of protesters climbing the steps on the western side of the Capitol.
A couple moments ago with Donald Trump saying, let's go to the Capitol. Trump rally-goers continue to make their way up to the Capitol in this protest. The president said something big was going to happen.
This is a moment I never saw in my life. These individuals just rushed through security.
President Trump could stop this with one tweet, but instead he's on Twitter attacking Vice President Pence for refusing to go along with his attempt at a coup. We're only seeing some of the...
This was a wild day, though. I mean, straight up. What a jamboree, dude. What a fucking jamboree this was. I mean, these goofy motherfuckers, dude, they just straight up were like, yeah, we're going in, brother. We're fucking going in, baby. What a psychotic group of weirdos. I mean, it did make some good ass content, let's be real. It's insane because it's not like the 1-6 wasn't serious, but liberals have lost their fucking minds over it. Yeah, they make it seem like this is the most devastating blow to American democracy. It's like, bro, what fucking democracy, dog? Like, what democracy? Where is the democracy? Is it democracy because, you know, you vote for the fucking good guy over the bad guy? You vote for the Democrats and then no change happens? Okay, is that the democracy that we are supposed to, you know, suck up and say this is great too? Because I mean, I guess that is what they want us to shut the fuck up and enjoy, which is, you know, shut up and enjoy the what we tell you what a democracy is. Didn't cops kill someone here, Law, and they're still vouching for blue lives? Yeah, that was the one bad cop. All the other cops are good, though.
The violence on the outside of the Capitol building, you have more information about what's going on inside in this armed insurrection, in this attempted coup.
I do not believe that the people who instigated this crime are going to be the solution today. The solution today is the rest of us.
We are witnessing history and what can only be described as a national disgrace.
Chaos and law.
That's true, though. That's fair. It was a national disgrace. It was. It was so... If you truly care about these institutions, then of course it was so fucking disgraceful in the sense that it was like, this was America unfiltered, okay? This was America in its rawest moment. Just a bunch of fucking, you know, piglets running around, hogging it the fuck up, and finally, you know, taking action, taking matters in their own fucking hands. It was so embarrassing. It was incredibly embarrassing. And you know it was embarrassing because the fucking people that attended immediately started saying, well, it was Antifa that did it. It was Antifa. Oh, fuck, effing. It's effing. Don't do it. Okay, you can nuke mods. You can nuke. That's a terrible filter, by the way. Holy shit. You should have gone, Hasan. You missed out. Like, they were so disorganized, but motivated purely by fucking anger. By pure anger, that they literally fucking went in and took selfies. That's all they did. They were like, I'm going to take Nancy Pelosi's gavel. I'm going to take a photo on Nancy Pelosi's desk. When new people join the stream and try to be helpful only to get headshot by the filter. Yeah, people fucking spamming F, especially if it's consistently happening, is never actually helpful. It's just stupid. Not as stupid as this guy, though.
Lawlessness striking at the heart of American democracy.
Improvised explosive devices found, several people injured, offices vandalized, windows smashed.
It was an insurrection. It was domestic terrorism. It was violence. It was illegal. And the President of the United States said he loved it.
There's still debate on even why they were there. Please go in depth on this so I can just use you as my vehicle of conversation. I'm tired of this. What debate? People openly stated they were going to do this. Trump openly stated that he wanted people to do this. The only reason why there's any debate is now because they actually did end up doing what they said they were going to do and what they were there to do. And then they realized, like, oh shit, maybe it wasn't actually a great idea. It was actually embarrassing. And that's precisely why they immediately started saying maybe it was Antifa that did it. It's like, motherfucker, Antifa wasn't wearing MAGA hats and like rushing through, okay? That's it. It's just they wanted to go buck wild and they fucking went buck wild. It's like when, like, if there was ever a fucking Civil War II electric boogaloo, okay, and then the red states get absolutely fucking cumstered and dumpstered, rolled, smoked, they would turn around and be like, oh, actually, we didn't mean it.
Creepy weirdo.
CNN commentator calls out AOC's creepy weirdos tweet. Wait, what? They are creepy fucking weirdos. What the fuck?
That is how Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is describing Republicans who are attacking her for taking a New Year's trip to Florida with her boyfriend. She responded to one critic saying, quote, if Republicans are mad, they can't date me. They can just say that instead of projecting their sexual frustrations onto my boyfriend's feet, you creepy weirdos. Joining us now to discuss is CNN political commentator and conservative blogger Mary Catherine Ham.
Oh my God, I fucking hate CNN so much, dude. Oh my Lord, dude. Joining me now is conservative commentator. It's like, what? What the fuck? What the fuck kind of take is this? Like, there, you know this shit ain't gonna be good. Okay, let's hear it.
You know,
let's
Mary
hear what
Catherine,
she's gonna
Happy
say.
New Year to you. We were wondering, we were thinking, how do we wish her a Happy New Year? And we thought, let's wake her up early and talk about feet with her. So, you know,
fine with it.
What do you make of all this?
Well, first of all, I woke up like this, so I think you have an authority on people being sexually frustrated by my mere existence.
Glenn Greenwald said this was the best CNN segment in years. Really? No, he did not. Shut the fuck up. Are you serious? If you spending more than 0.5 seconds on this matter, whichever way you land on the political spectrum, on a fucking platform like CNN, is automatically disqualifying, okay? If you turn around and say this was a great segment, nay, my favorite segment on CNN, you're just a conservative. You're just a Republican. You're like the most boring Republican, okay? The best 70 seconds on CNN in years. It's only Monday. Oh, God. The funniest thing is, yo, listen. The funniest thing is like the liberalization of the conservative party, okay? Or the conservative masses. Every single conservative, albeit they follow liberals and like the trends, you know, 5 to 10 years too late, they have all become the exact same person. So much yes, says Guy Benson, who's like a fucking town hall editor, dude. Like, it's only Monday, but MK Hammer has already won this week with this savage mockery of AOC's self-absorbed vanity. That's like, this is just, you're a lib. You're like a lib, but you believe in more conservative shit. You're doing the same annoying lib speak, but you're doing it from a conservative point of view, okay? Everyone is fucking yassified, dude. It's crazy. So much yes. So much yes. Find out how Oliver North allowed, brown liberation of Latinx militants in their self-actualization journey. It's like, it's so stupid. I'm so sick of adulting today. Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, dude. Oh my Lord. That's awesome. Best 70 seconds of CNN in years. Oh God, it's so dumb. Glenn Greenwald, the fuck is wrong with you?
It happens all the time, and I'm glad to be able to discuss this important issue with you. The plight of the super hot in America has long been ignored, and AOC has started a national conversation about this. And, you know, I know we've all dealt with it, and by that I mean AOC and you, Brianna, and myself, and John. Well, and the point is, you know, we could start an organization or something. And just the other day, I noticed the IRS keeps sending me notices, even though I've never expressed any interest in them. And it's like, why are you so obsessed with me? But
yeah, I love cancel culture has killed comedy. Also, this is the best conservatives have to offer. Yeah, this is great. This is funny. It's just like, look, if your entire goal to is not necessarily to make people laugh, but instead to just like agree with you, then you're not a comedian. Okay? Yeah, the right is getting better at comedy, and it's making the lefties nervous.
one day you wake up and you think to yourself, is there more to life than being really, really ridiculously good looking?
I want a video game myself. This is, oh my God. This is the, oh my God. Like, even she's making Zoolander references. Not 2, Zoolander 1. Okay? Holy fuck, this shit is so stale.
You know, I did it, and now I'm here. AOC did it, and now she's a congresswoman. And in that capacity, you have to answer questions.
It's very weird that she's just like constantly also talking about how hot she is. Like, half of these jokes need to land because the premise is that she's hot and people think she's hot also.
And like, I'm goofing on this because it's goofy, but to question the motives of every questioner you come across, I don't think behooves you. And she can answer the questions about being in Florida without going here. And by the way, I know because I'm talking about this, there are weirdos who will get weird in my comment section right now. Hi, how's it going? You can't date me. This is the plight, the real plight of actually being a woman in the public eye. And there is some of that out there, but we also have to answer fair questions. And a fair question to AOC is,
yeah, why was your husband, or not husband, why was your partner showing naked male feet, not near immediately in the vicinity of a body of water like a pool or a sea? Because that was what the fucking dude was saying. That literally was the fucking tweet. Okay, why was your boyfriend wearing sandals showing naked male feet not in the immediate vicinity of a body of water? Effing again, getting worse every fucking time. Don't post it, you will get yeeted.
hey, is your trip with your partner to Florida dangerous to yourself and others? And if not, why not? Because if it's not, it suggests that people can use their personal freedom to make decisions about their risk profiles and go forward in the world of COVID.
I don't know what to say exactly right now. No, but one thing I will say is, there is a Venn diagram here. I mean, right? There are creepy weirdos out there. You're not denying the existence of creepy weirdos, just that not everyone who asks.
Bro, this is literally a Fox News segment, for the record. Like, including the commentators, the CNN commentators themselves. Like, this is just a Fox News segment. This is straight up just a Fox News segment. This is the kind of segment you would hear on Fox News.
The legitimate question is a creepy weirdo. And I know Brianna had a question along those lines about sandals, Brianna.
Yes, man sandals, yay or nay, Mary Catherine?
Look, I'm a no, but I'm not judging. I don't think that the interesting thing is this took a turn toward the sexual after the sandals were mentioned, and the AOC said, okay, that's the source of it. And look, I don't think man sandals have ever led to a sexual thought, except for maybe in Gladiator that one time. But that's my position. Thank you for asking me. No one's ever asked me that before.
There you go.
I'm going to turn this discussion now.
You can try, John.
I'm going to try. I want to ask about the Republican Party, because Congressman Peter Meyer, who was a yes, I believe, on impeaching the former president of the United States, he was asked about where he thinks the current Republican Party is. There were no sandals harmed in this question. Listen to what he said.
There was no alternative. There was no other path. And given how President Biden, when he was elected into office, said he would be moderate and look for bipartisan solutions.
Wait, who the fuck is this, bro? Yo, I've never gotten such hardcore school shooter vibes from a fucking congressperson. What the fuck is this, dude? Who is this I've never seen this person before.
Solutions. But then after, and frankly, I blame the former president for this, after we lost the 2 Senate seats in Georgia and the Senate flipped, it became an exercise in trying to be an LBJ or FDR style presidency and enact transformational change in the absence of any compelling mandate from the American people to do so. So that gave the rallying signal, that created a very steep divide. And at the end of the day, there's no other option right now in the Republican Party. And that's a sad test.
He's my congressperson. His family is the richest in Michigan. Nice. Why does he have the Paul Joseph Watson set? Like, this literally just looks like, he looks like Ginger Paul Joseph Watson. What's going on there? I think maybe Paul Joseph Watson is like trademarked that like I'm a school shooter aesthetic. So as soon as I see anyone in a similar set also staring into the camera angrily, I just assume like, similar shit's popping off.
So the Congressman, Mary Catherine, says that there is no other option for most Republicans, he says, than Donald Trump. Fair?
I think if you look at the polling, many of them favor him, correct? But I think there's also a first place, second place option in some of those polls. And I think there are people.
Yeah, Ron DeSantis, baby. Death Santis for American president, dude. That's right.
Who appeal to both the sort of Trump critical wing of the party and the Trump loving wing of the party, which is what you need in the end. But he's exactly right about Donald Trump and his crusade about the election, taking blame for those 2 Senate seats. Georgia's blue, y'all. Georgia's blue. And there's a reason for that. And it's partly because the president told a bunch of people who supported him and would have supported Republican candidates that their vote didn't matter. And if that continues to happen, then you will not have wins for Republicans like you did in Virginia. You will have losses for Republicans. And there's one sort of brewing right now, which is there's a primary fight on the right for the governorship in Georgia. Stacey Abrams is running for the Democratic Party. And this is sort of caused by that Trump issues where Republicans could easily overtake her probably in this state for the governorship, but there's going to be a primary to weaken their candidate. And this is sort of the cost of doing business in this way. And by the way, that's the cost you should pay for doing business in this way. You mess with elections, you lose elections.
Mary Catherine Ham, I just want to say thank you so much for being with us this morning. I'm just going to take the pro man sandal approach, just for the under.
Oh, God. Cancer. Absolute cancer. Inside the secret clubs of the rich. Oh, new Vice video out. 23 minutes, too. That's a fat one. Let's take a look at it. Inside the secret clubs of the rich. I don't even know what this is about, to be honest with you. Slide enjoyers. Okay, shut the fuck up. Like, this sliding happens every now and then. Okay, calm down. For the record, remember, we got midterms are coming up this year. It's midterm season. We're in midterm season, baby. Okay. So, yes, it sucks. It's dumb as a bait and switch video.
I'm finding out what it's like to be rich.
What we found out, what was going in there, is unbelievable.
Why do you think the rich are so secret?
Because they want to stay rich.
They bring in a child and they set it afire.
You know, they'll kill their neighbor for a can of green beans.
Right.
Go to Bohemian Grove, try to get in, see what they say.
I really want to.
Wait, why not? You could totally get into fucking Bohemian Grove. What the fuck? We've already just. Oh, shit.
I know the truth. Dear celestial being, which I may not believe in anymore, but I'm starting to believe in because things are getting so weird. There's a body. What's going on in there? Who are these people? Can I ask you how much this costs?
Yeah, I just paid $685.
To give you an idea of price, $550,000.
Jesus. I would love to hold $500,000.
I hate this shit, dude. It's so ugly. Like, at least if you're gonna fucking spend $500,000 on something, like, it shouldn't be ugly. You know what I mean? It should be at least, like, kind of cool, you know? And the Richard Mille watches are the exact opposite of that. It is just nasty as fuck. Oh, what the fuck? Donald Trump Jr. and Kimberly Guilfoyle are engaged, dude. Yo. Let's pour one out for our boy, okay? Friend of the show, one of my personal favorites, Gruesome Gavin Newsom. Okay. R.I.P. to Gavin Newsom's chances with Kimberly Guilfoyle. It's over. Donald Trump Jr. said, I'm locking that ass up, baby. Let's go. I gotta pee.
Are you guys rich?
I'll be back in a
What do you
second.
define as rich?
The price of this one is $849,500.
Is there ever enough money? Here we go!
Are doomsday preppers right? The brink of a worldwide mysterious fertility crisis have been appearing. Gun taxes could plague California.
As clickbait headlines warp our view of the world, I'm spiraling down the rabbit hole looking for the truth. On this episode, Secrets of the Rich.
It's one letter, but it spells out a bizarre conspiracy theory with President Trump at the center.
This person may have believed and had some beliefs in is this idea of the reptilian theory or lizard theory.
Maybe they think there are microchips in the vaccines that could be used to track people. That was a popular rumor.
Conspiracy theories have been all over the news recently, many of which allude to a shadowy elite class. Sex cabals and microchips, the Illuminati and the dreaded lizard people, wealthy people who meet in exclusive clubs making backroom deals that undermine democracy. After hours of searching through internet lore, I came across one of the most notorious of these secretive societies, the Bohemian Club, and their annual 2-week retreat where the ultra-wealthy and powerful meet in a private event. In the year 2000, famed conspiracy theorist Alex Jones snuck into the Grove and secretly recorded the events on a hidden camera. I had to know what they saw,
This is so weird. Oh, it did reconnect. Okay. That was wild. That just like fucking straight up yeeted my. That kicked me off OBS even. That was a big one. That was a big F for sure. So much so that it basically fucking cleared out. That was a hard yeet for sure. I hope it doesn't get worse for the rest of the day. It is very strange. The size, magnitude, like the frequency of the frequency of the frequency of the Fs get bigger, and or the frequency of the Fs are the same, but for some reason, no, I don't have 44,000 people in here. That it spikes and then it's gonna drop to half. I'm gonna go down to like 20K now in a second, because that was like a big F. That was an F to the degree where it was like a permanent F, where the stream ended and restarted almost. I will be banning every single person, no matter how long they've been in the community, by the way, for mentioning viewer count. Like, especially because like if you get perma'd, you don't even have access to ask to be reinstated for at least a month now. Yeah, I changed it. Usually you could instantaneously apply for unbanning, but if you get perma'd now, you have at least a month to you have a month until you can actually ask for it. Yeah, so if you get banned nowadays, you're totally fucked, for the record. I'm just letting you know. Okay, hopefully after this big F, it will no longer continue to be fucking annoying. But yeah, I hate when stuff like this happens, especially when, you know, this community is growing. There's more people in here. There's more people interested in the news. And then, you know, this is like straight up an unmanageable problem that is not fixable in any meaningful capacity. There's like nothing I can do about it. I've tried everything. There's just nothing I can do about it. Really fucked up. Anyway, let's keep going. I paused it when it
recorded the events on a hidden camera.
Here.
I had to know what they saw, so we met up with his former producer, Mike Hansen, who also snuck in with him.
What we found out, what was going in there, is unbelievable. This is how I can explain it to you.
Okay.
This is a death cult. This is not anything to play around with, folks. This is a 40-foot stone owl called Moloch. And these people that are doing the ceremony dress up in robes and hoods, and they bring in a child and they set it afire.
A real child they bring in?
I don't know.
Okay.
If somebody told me about this, I would have said you're crazy.
This is not something Linus can do. It's not Linus's fault. It's nobody's fault as it is right now. It's just like hard to figure out. Please stop talking about tech issues. Don't blame it on Linus.
Who are
either.
these people?
Anybody of any significance is even movie stars. They control the media. They control 95% of the media. It's what you call the New World Order.
Right.
They're setting up a New World Order. You are the cattle out there. You know, you are the slaves. They want enough people to live on this earth just to be able to serve them. 10% would be enough for them, where they can enjoy the earth and kill the rest of the cattle off, and the rest of the 10% can serve them drinks or whatever. You try to get a story about Bohemia Grove out there, you're not going to get it. But that's what's good.
This seems very real and very true, I think.
About the internet. There's a lot of bad things about the internet.
I love, look, okay, here's the funny thing about this, okay? Here's how you know my man is just victim to his own lack of knowledge. He's a victim of his own idiocy here. First of all, the wealthy already have methods of control, okay? It's called capitalism. It's called the media, a capitalist media infrastructure. It is incredibly effective in sedating the masses. It's also incredibly effective in helping them or making them feel as though nothing is like all that wrong, or all the wrong feelings that they have, you can redirect to something else, right? But ultimately, this idea that 10% of the planet would be enough for, you know, bringing drinks for the wealthy, like that's all they care about, is so stupid. Because who's going to make the fucking beverages? Who's going to make the food? Who's going to make the TVs? Like, just 10% of the population, just 10% of the population is not enough. So he is victim to his own idiocy in the assumption that like only 10% of the population could like sustain the comfortable existence that the wealthy, the mega wealthy love to live in. It's just dumb.
But
also, yes, as someone in the chat pointed out, he still has a VCR. So I don't know how much you want to. I don't know how much you want to fucking trust the dude who still has VCR.
What's good about the internet, they're being exposed.
Mike pulled up his footage, which showed the club's annual cremation of care ceremony.
How do you get to the I'm not computer. Yeah, you can put it. Go back to
I'm not computer savvy.
YouTube. I don't know how to use this. So.
Okay, I got you.
Okay, get to the internet.
Yeah,
Go
yeah.
To this is a 40-foot stone owl called Moloch, and this symbolizes the devil. So you got people that are running your government and all your movie stars mostly. They are worshiping the devil, and they are sacrificing a.
Why are you saying banned? Oh, because it's banned.video? Yeah, that's Alex Jones's website, guys.
Baby in effigy. What sane person does this? Would your family do this at a family outing?
As it turns out, I might have had family who would do this. During the course of making this documentary, it came to light that a direct ancestor of mine was a prominent Bohemian Club member. I found
he's in on it. Of course he is, brother. He's a part of the goddamn lamestream media. Remember, guys, I've talked about this before. The Bohemian Grove is not where the fucking wealthy decide what to do with the rest of the planet, okay? They do that publicly. They don't need to do that while hiding, okay? They could just do that in front of your eyes. They could do that openly in public, as they regularly do, you know, at like summits and shit. They do that in Idaho, in Sun Valley, Idaho. They do that at Davos. And they don't even hide that they're doing it at Davos. They literally have panels that you can actually watch videos of on the internet when they're like, you know, wealth inequality is starting to get to a point where it's unmanageable. Oh, it's the F again. Okay, it's a baby F though. It's not that bad. It's a baby F. It's not that bad. Don't spam F in the chat. But for the record, I feel like now is just becoming more. Am I crazy, or is the frequency increased as well? Or is it just every 10 minutes? Where do people like Jeff Bezos hang out? Sun Valley, Idaho is like straight up Now increase frequency but decrease magnitude. What's up there? I don't know. I thought you said you figured it out. Dude, there is... Just stop. Just stop mentioning it, please. It's so triggering. Oh my God. Just stop. It is completely outside of my fucking control, and it's not something I can deal with, man. It's so fucked up. Please stop. Please stop bringing it up. It is so fucking annoying. Behaving like a memory leak with increasing frequency. AMD drivers suck dick. Haven't used an AMD product since their drivers kept crashing games back in 2006. You have a beastly rig, and I just swapped the GPU and before buying a whole new one. I mean, it's going to end up with me actually banning the entirety of chat, which is, you know, ending the stream permanently. Okay? Stop doing tech support, please. Treat it like fucking Republicans treat COVID, okay? Don't focus on it and don't think about it, and it'll fucking go away. Please.
Home recordings that showed what I think is a dress rehearsal of the same ceremony Alex Jones and Mike Hansen witnessed.
This is never before seen footage of the Bohemian Grove. This performance they put on is called the Cremation of Care, and this is what Alex Jones and Mike Hansen saw and recorded. And they at one point burned something. Here, there's a body. They're pulling a body out of here. I mean, a fake body, I think. I mean, look, there it goes. Boom. And then they light it on fire. Mike Hansen believed it was a baby that they were burning, but this one looked like an adult body, whatever it was. I don't think they're actually...
It's fake, right? Yes, it is. It's fucking theater, kids. The Bohemian Grove is a place for conservative men or powerful men in general to get together and just be gay with the homies, okay? That's literally what it is. Don't ask me. Richard Nixon talked about it openly, okay? It's literally just fucking theater camp, okay? It's like you can't be gay with the bros at the fucking golf club, which is where you normally get to hang out with the homies with, okay? So this is specifically to be gay with your homies away from, you know, the public eye, especially when in like the 60s and 70s, you couldn't actually openly be gay, especially as a powerful white guy, okay? That's it. And part of that, like, being gay with the homies thing revolves around doing theater kid shit. Here, Demon Taco, I've made it easier for you to fuck right off and never watch the stream again, okay? This dumbass literally thinks that the stream routinely effing is not something that annoys me more than annoys him, okay? And that I haven't tried to fix this. Like, I haven't spent literally every waking moment since I ended broadcast yesterday trying to solve this issue by doing virtually every single thing possible, okay? I'm sorry, brother, but you're a fucking moron. I literally am talking to the people that actually work at Twitch, including getting tech support in person, okay? And reaching out to my ISP, fixing all my fucking drivers. I went through it in the beginning of the broadcast where I explained every little thing that I've done thus far. Okay? This idea that you think I don't care about the watchability of my stream is so stupid.
Burning a body. But it's just kind of weird, right? Even the thought of burning a body, like, why are you burning a body? What's the, what does that symbolize? It's just kind of eerie, you know? You can see they've got some ping pong tables. That's kind of cool. But this makes me also think, I work in the media. I've got descendants to the Bohemian Club. Am I part of the New World Order? Am I an unknowing pawn in the New World Order? What can we do as like concerned citizens to
pray to God that the information comes out where everybody will have the knowledge to be able to do what it takes to fight these people. You know, that's what I do.
Dear celestial being, which I may not believe in anymore, but I'm starting to believe in because things are getting so weird. Give me the strength to travel to Bohemian Grove to expose the evildoers who are rearranging our world into some sort of new world order where we're all going to be enslaved because they're not interested in money, they're interested in souls. As a member of the media, I knew it was up to me to expose the shenanigans of the elite. So I flew to the West Coast to see if I could break into the Bohemian Grove.
We want some answers. So we're gonna go get those answers.
There's the gate, just begging for us to go in.
What's going on in there? I want some answers.
The signs outside warned against trespassing, but I thought I could fool them by peering down with a drone.
Isn't that illegal?
All right, do you see anything in there? What's that, do you think?
That's trees.
It's a tree?
But even from the air, all we could see were trees. Those clever rich people had thought of everything.
Lots of trees here.
That's it?
It is a
grove. It was clear that this mission needed to be accomplished from the ground. So I called my supervisor to see if they would allow me to infiltrate the premises.
Sergio and Zeke, I'm outside the Bohemian Grove. Man, I really want to trespass.
No, it's fucking stupid, dude. Don't do that.
Sergio, I don't think you understand the New World Order that is being formulated here. Sergio, come on, let me trespass, man. All right, we got to figure out something else. Fuck!
As much as I wanted to trespass, I didn't want to lose my job. I had to find another source. But where? Who are these people? Thankfully, Mary Moore, an activist mentioned in Mike Hanson's book,
I got all the experts in my book.
lived 5 miles down the road and had been collecting information on the Grove for almost 4 decades. So I decided to pay her a visit.
Hi, Mary. How are you?
I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
A little crazed at the moment. Okay, come on in.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
What a cool spot you have.
Oh, thank you.
Uh-oh.
In addition to being an activist, Mary is also a serious archivist, documenting everything from the happenings of the Grove to, everything.
Wow.
Oh no, this is gonna be like she's a leftist, isn't she? She's like one of those leftists, like, oh no. Oh no.
That civil rights era room. This is just all of her binders. Actually, this is half of them on just coronavirus alone. So she archives every single thing in the newspaper, but she categorizes them. So it's any article that she sees, anything she prints out, her email list, and then she puts them all like by, what is this? Volume 4.
Oh my God, a coronavirus.
I would get calls in those early days from people saying, is Alex Jones working with you? And I, no. Alex Jones claims that they're burning